Welcome to Medlook Video Tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to look at how to customize the display list found in Medlook. To begin, we're going to look at the patients folder list. By default it's sorted by patient number, and then you have all these other columns of data. Lots and lots of data here. You may not want all of it. You may even want more of it, which you can ask for, and I'll be glad to add it to your list. Notice that we have alternating colors, sorted by patient number, last name, first name, middle initial. I want to show you some of the things we can do. First, I want to show you right here. See that this thing is not wide enough. We don't see the whole date until I hover right there. We can bring the cursor up here. Notice we get a little east-west arrow. Double click it and it expands it to be wide enough to fit that whole field. Same thing then with the address 1 bar. And if we slide over here to the address 2 bar, if we double click it, you'll notice it'll shrink it down. We have more and more columns of data here. If we do a right click on this, we'll see we can change a bunch of different things here. We can change this view style to a card view, which is almost never done, so at this point I'm not going to go into that. But we can do a show fields, sort, group by, format view, and if we had groups we could do expand and collapse on groups, and then we can restore the default layout. Let's look at some very simple things first. Let's look at show fields. Let's say, for instance, you don't care what the middle initial is for your patient. Just get rid of it, hit the remove button, and you would like to have the social security number up before the last name. So just move it up, and maybe you don't care about address 2. Let's hide that as well, and then we do OK. And so now you notice we have patient number, social security number, which all are blank. We didn't enter any in for these patients, last name, first name, and no middle initial, and no address 2. Again, I was using right click, show fields. If we want to bring them back, we can bring them back. Just come in and do add, and by default they go to the bottom of the list. Okay, and we do OK, and there we are back. Let me show you another thing we can do with those fields. We can slide way over here on these really wide lists. It's kind of difficult, but I can grab a field, any field. Let's say we want the social security number moved back over. We just left click, hold the caption down, grab it, drag it over, and drop it. Okay, so we can move any of our fields around simply by grabbing them, and you see the red arrows shows you where we're going to drop it. It's very handy. Let's do a right click and do a sort. Now I want to sort by last name and then by first name. That's the most common method, by first name. Click, and so now the data is sorted by alphabetically by last name and then by first name. So we can see Lewis Arthur, Lewis Beatrice. Notice the little triangles here. They show me which columns are sorted. If I go back and click on patient number, it sorts on patient number. If I click on it again, it sorts it in reverse order from what it's currently displayed. But clicking on a column only allows you to sort on one column. So if I wanted to click on 2 or sort by 2, I got to come in here and again click on last name. I can just hit an L there because I know that's what the L is. An F for first name, hit an enter, and I can sort ascending and descending in each column, and I can sort by up to 4 columns. Okay, so I'm back sorted alphabetically. Let's do a right click and let's do a group by. For some reason I may need to look at my data based on gender, so let's look at it based on gender. I want to group my data, and so I've got 3 females, 6 males. I can hit the little plus sign and it opens up each category, and the data still remains sorted the way it was before, but now it's grouped by gender. And you can group by up to 4 levels, and this really is important, and you'll see this later in some of the subfolders that we have for specialized reporting. Okay, and you can double click up here, and that that collapses or uncollapses your data, which is the same as doing a expand, collapse all, right click, expand, collapse, expand all, same thing. Okay, if we do a right click and do a format view, we have a bunch more things we can do. We can change the column headings. Let's make them be in a different font. We'll make them be in Arial black, size 10, and let's make the text be red. Okay, you see there we got it. And let's make the rows then be Times New Roman. There we go. And maybe the rows need to be even bigger. Okay, and we say, and maybe we want them to be navy. I don't know how that's going to look. Okay, there we go. And let's turn that alternating colors off. We can turn that off. And then you can even turn off the grid lines right there. Show group headings. No, that's the group headings. Grid lines, grid lines. Yeah, right there, grid lines. No grid lines. Turn that off. And so you see we have a much different looking display than we had a moment ago. And we can make this wider so we can see the text. And again, it looks completely different. And if I go to another grid, another display of data, and I come back, you see it remembers. Every display that we see, it remembers its own settings. So it allows you to quickly and easily customize it to your preferences. And so the visual cues let you know where you're looking at too without even looking at the data itself. Then we can also do a right click, restore default layout. That takes us back to the way it was when you installed the software. So if you mess it all up and you don't like it, you can quickly go back. And let's say that all you really wanted to do was get rid of the alternating colors because you didn't like that, and make the rows be a little bit bigger, and we'll make the font, the column header, be a little bit bigger, and that's all I wanted to do. There you are, there you have it. And you can also then sort by last name and then by first name, and it will remember that. So if I go to doctors or I go to procedure codes and I come back to the patient list, it remembers those settings. And that's pretty much how every grid works. They all have this right click capability on it. You can customize it and you can always go back. The only grids that have anything special about them are the find grids. When you hit a little drop down box and it does a find, you can't do a right click on those, so we have a special way to edit those displays as well. The other thing we want to look at on grids is we usually have this look for and look in box, and that would be for the patient. You can look in patient number, name, social security number, birthday, or phone. And every one of these has something different that you can look in. If I click on referral sources, it looks in ID number or name. Doctors, looks in name or code. Hospitals, probably just name, city. But basically that's what you can do with the displays, and you can totally customize the way MedLook looks to fit your needs. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Good day.